Good evening and welcome to Other Fans Live here on Sunday, the 29th of June 25. Hope you're all having a nice weekend so far. And if you didn't recognise the theme, it was Wimbledon as Wimbledon starts tomorrow, which potentially could be the hottest Wimbledon start on record. All you're doing is just me, myself, and I tonight. Let's go and have a look who's with us this evening. It's very bright behind me, isn't it? What are you smiling about? Still warm. So the first person in this evening was Laura Johnson. Good evening to you. And good evening to Suits. Oh, Suits. Hope you are, my friend. Good evening to Anne Smith. Good evening to myself, who typed that in a short time ago. Good evening to Audio Coffee. Hope you are well. Who else have we got this evening? Clissay, good evening to you. That's a new name, Cashflow Catalyst. Hope you are well. Unless you're somebody else, they've changed your name. So we got Send It Is Here. Is that you, Send It, the Cashflow Catalyst? Or was that somebody else? Good evening to our Spanner, Paul James. Hope you are well this evening. And we've got Rachel sneaking in. Hope you like the background. Bit of yellow and orange. Audio's hating this heat already. Me too. Definitely prefer the cooler temperatures. Good evening to Tom. I'm not looking forward to tomorrow's 32 plus degrees for me in Nottingham. Neither am I, but I'll be in the chill all day at work, so thankfully I get a bit of a break from it. Anyone else come in? Audio says menopause plus hot weather plus hot flushes equals nope. Thankfully, I don't go through all that myself. I should hope not. I'm a spanner now. I don't want to say to them. Great background. You're welcome, Rachel. Send It should delete his channel. Why should he? I need one of those industrial fans I can put on full blast. We've actually had two standing fans yesterday, the long ones and a cooler, and it didn't shift the room temperature down much at all. I think it stayed above 28 degrees all night last night. You call me a spanner. One of our mods? Yeah, it's mods. Yeah, I think. Come on, it's the heat getting to me. Leave me alone. Oh. A damp towel in front of a fan cools the air, evaporative cooling. It's what these coolers should do as well. So let's have a look. That's the end of the chat at the moment. Let's have a look, see what the temperature like out there. So coming out of the scene, Suits. I mean, need for another thunderstorm, Michael, don't we all? Need a good downpour just to cool things down. We'll take a look, see if there's any threat on that. And I thought my screen went again. Good evening to Send It Weather. Hope you are well, my friends. So let's have a look at the latest out there. We're currently under, as you can tell, we're under like a warm sector. We've got high pressure just set out towards the North Sea, and it's not really shown on the winds, but we are going to start bringing up more hot air from nearby France, which is great news if you love the heat, and if you like the self-order of many people who hate the heat, not good news. So let's zoom into the UK right now. So temperature around about 7 o'clock. Around about 23, 24 down towards the southeast, down towards London area. We're looking around about 28, 27 degrees. Let's go along the south coast here, which are around about 23, 24, 25 degrees. Down towards the southwest, we're around about 21, 20, perhaps 18 degrees in some places. Up through the Bristol Channel, we're around about 24, 25 degrees. And 26, 25 through the Midlands. There's been actually plenty of cloud here in the middle, well, I am in the Midlands, so thankfully it's kept the temperatures down by a few degrees. If it had been blue sky, it would have been probably in about 30, 31, but it's been around about 26, 27 here today. 26, 27 through the East Mids, over towards Norfolk and Suffolk, East Anglia, around about 20, 21. We are getting that wind coming in off the North Sea. To flick straight over to Wales, temperatures again around about 20, 21 degrees. Up through Northern England, again through 25, 26, 27 degrees. Across the Pennines we go towards Lancashire, Cheshire way, 23, 22 degrees. Up through the far coast where the boss is at 21 degrees. Up through into Cumbria, around about 20 degrees. Up towards Newcastle, around about 22, 23 degrees. Let's head further north into Scotland, where temperature also about 19, 20 degrees. Up the eastern side of Scotland, again around about 19, 20 degrees. And I don't know what that noise was then. Up through north of Scotland, around about 15 degrees ahead of this warm front, which will eventually clear the next few hours. And it's a pleasant 14 degrees towards the Outer Hebrides. Let's have a look at the little Shetland up here. How nice is it up there? 12 degrees. So if you like the cool weather, head to Shetland for your summer holidays. Let's have a look at the satellite imagery, because I know that there's been plenty of cloud around. So plenty of clear skies towards northeast of England, plenty towards the along the south coast there. A lot more cloud through central area as well. We've had that weak weather front which affected northern areas yesterday, but it's just a bit of, I was going to say maybe a nuisance bit of cloud if you like the sunshine. But if you don't like the heat, it's been quite pleasant where it's kept the temperatures down a little bit. If we zoom out a little bit more, plenty of clear skies towards our south towards France, but we are expecting warmer air to come up from the south in the next 24 hours or so. So we've got a few thunderstorms there towards the southern France into Spain and Portugal. Let's have a look at the radar actually, see if that will flash up. So there we go, there's some of your thunderstorms down here towards Spain and Portugal. Let's have a look at the humidity, because it feels like it's very humid out there right now. Oops. Don't want to do that. So we're about 70% down towards 78% down towards the south. Through to the Midlands here, 50, 60%, but I just feel like it's higher than that. 70, 80, 90% through Wales, Norfolk as well, 70%, 80%. Through into northwest England, around about 78% humidity. Other side of the Pennines, again, 78%. Let's continue northwards to Scotland, 78%, about 40, 50% through central areas, and the final for Scotland, around about 50, 60%. So let's have a look at the radar. Actually, got that weather front clearing towards the north of Scotland as we speak, and there's definitely no rain actually falling in this area here. So there's a bit of a, a bit of a disturbance there, perhaps on the radar. I'm just leave that for now, and let's head back into the chat. Oh, Zephyr just froze on me. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Paul. PJ. I've just seen what you've just done there. It's still coming up on my what's name. Excuse me a second. I've just gone to the very top of the chat there by mistake. Let me just scroll back down to where I was. Good evening to severe weather alerts. Hello, everyone. I'm currently on holiday in France. Hope you're enjoying your break. I bet it's hot down there at the moment. Send it. I know what's going on tonight, but don't worry about things, mate. Don't worry about things. Just ignore the haters. I have one question. There are storm chasers all over the planet chasing storms, but I haven't found it on YouTube in France. You'd think there'd be some, but no, there isn't. The other thing I could perhaps suggest, if you know your French, maybe look at some local French weather pages. I bet there might be a few around now that be like metheads like us that are into that kind of thing. So unless you know your French, where you can understand that kind of thing. But then again, some pages you can actually translate. Just far more as digging deep into those kind of things. They could be on like sort of Facebook maybe. Severe weather. I'm in a hotel in Paris. Ooh, very nice. Hope you're enjoying your break. Lancashire, thanks, Rach. It's the heat. I can't do heat. Scrolling down the comments. It's great how we can see all the weather cams. It's all right when there's something happening. All you can see it. All you probably see at the minute is just mild blue sky, a bit of cloud. So saying 45 degree could happen in the future. If I see 45 degrees before I'm dead, then I'll be very surprised. I reckon maybe before 2100, we'll probably see more like see 45 degrees in this country. Let's go down any comments. Good evening to James. Hope you are, my friend. Even though just got 20 degrees here. Whoa. Is that a heat wave where you are? Wish it was 20 degrees here without this humidity. Sphere whether you'll have some chasers on it. So that's one maybe to look at. Was it audio? Still scrolling down the thing. It's quite busy. It's not on the chat. I hope you're all well. Now, what's that? Didn't the Met Office publish something that we could see up to 46 degrees here in the next 10 years? Oh, I misunderstood that. I think I quite heard that, actually. 46 degrees. I've not heard anything of that from the Met Office personally, unless I might have missed that. Yeah, 45 degrees won't be possible till like 2050 or something around that range. What's your house temperature been today then? I'm not too sure, to be honest, because I've been downstairs all day and my centre's actually in the bedroom. But I managed to cool down to around about 23 or 24 this morning. But I bet now, because we have the sunshine towards like after 4 or 5 o'clock in the bedroom, obviously it then heats it up last thing before I go to sleep. That's probably back up to 28 degrees now, doubt. We're having a better summer than we did last year. Yeah, from what I remember, especially winter and spring, were quite wet. And it turned better around about June time. But I think when we got to around about middle of August, it starts to change again. Then we had a few weeks during September, like we normally do, turning quite warm. And I think it just turned a bit mixed again towards the end. More chance of raising the Titanic than James sending snow down here. What snow? I think for the last couple of years, I think the only time I've seen lying snow was actually November. But during winter, the official winter months, we've not had any snow. Did you get aircon or just an air cooler? It's just a cooler. It's 28 degrees at where Send It is at the moment. Found it. This is from Sky News, 18th June 2025. A chance of seeing temperature of 40 degrees or more again in the next there's a 50 chance of seeing temperature of 40 degrees or more again in the next 12 years. It's almost like it might do or it might not. Actually, just remind me, I've just gone to our banners because during our the start of Storm Season 25, the team had their predictions. So, but let me just stop sharing that. Actually, let's bring myself back onto the screen here. So, our third question actually was, this is for the team, will the UK temperature of more than 40 degrees last year, for this year, sorry. And 3 out of 4 of us says no, with Paul saying yes. So, will we still hit it this year whilst we're coming into July? No. I'm sticking with my answer still, even now. Well, actually, we didn't look back. Actually, question 2 was, what date will 30 degrees be reached for the first time this year? And it was actually the 19th of June. And the person that was closest to that actual date was, let's have a look, Liz says the 12th of May. I said the 17th of June. So I was literally just 2 days out. So just 2 days out on that. So I could have done better. Just says pesky 48 hours done me there, wasn't it? It was closest on the 20. That would have been, I won't brag, it was me again. But then again, me and Liz were just 1 day apart because back then we did this around about the 1st of March. Liz said the 25th, I said the 24th, and the actual date was 20th. So I'm not going to brag, but 2 out of 2 so far. Right, let's go back to your comments. Don't think anyone wants. I don't. Yeah, I've seen a few of you saying I don't want 40 degrees. I don't. Let's hope it's doing the difference. If I want to sleep in the heat, I hate sleeping in the heat. Perhaps warm days, cold nights, yeah. But nah, when you can't sleep at night, it's just nothing worse. Waking up and you feel all sticky and yucky. There's absolutely no chance of hitting 40 degrees here. Lol, if it ever does, I'm booking flights back to a colder place. Does North Pole look good at this time of year? I'm not sure. What's the UK temperature record for August? I think, oh well, so it would have been the record, wouldn't it? It would be 40.3 degrees when we had that heat wave 2022, I think it was, when we hit 40.3 degrees. I want my cold nights back. Me too. It's just the heat and humidity, which is just a pain in the backside right now. Right, let's have a look at the fax charts from the Met Office. Let's bring them up and see what's doing for the next few days. Let's take my off there. Let's put up full screen. Just take the chat off there for now. Oh. Was it July we actually hit that record then? Or was I mistaken? So it wasn't August, was it July? So if it was 40 degrees in July, then I would make sense of 38.5 degrees at Faversham. Faversham. I can't remember when we hit 40 degrees or 40. Oh, it was July. I do apologise. Thank you, Anne. The highest temperature ever recorded in the UK was 40.3 degrees, which was at RAF Coningsby in Lincolnshire, July the 19th, 22. I want the sort of storm that makes the storm chasers visit your local. Should have moved to Cumbria last week, audio, when the team got that supercell just northeast of Pendriff. Let's have a look at the facts charts, and we'll move on to the other charts for the next week. So high pressure building across the UK. We've got that weak weather front, which is over the UK, which has produced a lot of that cloud over the last 24, 48 hours for northern central areas. Oh, hang on. Has that refreshed actually since I've gone live? No, it hasn't. So let's move forward to tomorrow. We're under a slack southerly flow, high pressure towards the east. We're getting the winds up from the south, bringing up that hot air from the south. Got weather fronts waiting out towards the west. Into midnight on Tuesday, that weather front is still sitting out towards northwest, slowly progressing eastwards. And into Tuesday, we've got a perhaps possible thundery low. We'll have a look at the God, some memory loss here. We've got high resolution Met Office data in just a second to see if we are expecting any thunderstorms in this area. But does that weather front does clear? Yes, it does through into Wednesday. And as we head into Thursday, our weather front with the fresh air sat over quite a long cold front actually, sat towards Portugal, through France, through the Low Countries, and towards Russia. So one heck of a boundary there. So you have all your hot air in this area here, and all the fresher, cooler air sitting just here. Let's have a look at the UKV. So look at the expected temperatures for tomorrow, actually. Right, there we go. So let's bring that forward through into 6 o'clock. So even temperatures at 6 o'clock will be around about the high teens across most areas. A few places already at 20, 21 degrees by the time we get to 6 a.m. And as we head through into lunchtime, even at 12 o'clock, temperatures are widely into the mid-20s. Some places already up to 30, 31 degrees through central areas through down towards the southeast. So for the start of play, which I think is 11 o'clock at Wimbledon, temperatures already will be around about 28 or 29 degrees. Bring that through to around about 4 o'clock, and temperatures are expected to be away from northwestern areas. Well, northwestern areas we're looking around about the teens, looking quite nice and fresh actually towards northwest of Scotland, just getting to double figures. Through into southeast Scotland, we're looking around about 22, 23 degrees. Northeast England again, 25, 26, 27 degrees. Parts of the far coast into Cumbria, we're looking around about the high teens, low 20s, as well as coastal areas of Wales and southwest are looking around about 2021. As you move further inland, temperatures up into the mid to upper 20s. As you get through into the Midlands, through into parts of Yorkshire, through Lincolnshire, down eastern side of these, through East Midlands, we're looking around about 30 to 33 degrees. We could hit 34, maybe a 35 degrees. There's a chance we could beat the June record, which is, I think, 35.6 degrees, which was recorded back in 1976. So that's not a record that's been stood for a few years. We're talking about a 49-year record. Could be broken tomorrow. So we shall see what happens. How high do you think it will get tomorrow? Feel free to put your predictions in the chat. So as we go through the evening, up to about 8 o'clock, temperatures, let's put that through to 10 o'clock, where many people start to go to bed around about then. So through northwestern areas, temperatures still high teens. Through central eastern areas, temperatures even by 10 o'clock at night will be still around about 23, 24, 25 degrees. Perhaps towards the capital, around about 27 degrees. So again, another warm feeling night. As we head to 5 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, temperatures still in the mid to upper teens, and a tropical night towards eastern areas where, again, temperature will be between 20 to 24 degrees minimum. And already at the start of Tuesday, temperatures are rising. Northern areas, but fresher temperatures into the upper teens, cooler through parts of East Midlands, through eastern England, towards Wales. We're looking around about the low 20s, compared with about 7 to 10 degree temperature drop compared to Monday. But even towards the far southeast, temperatures still could get up to around about 33 degrees. And as we're headed through into Wednesday, fresher air is established across much of the UK. Still temperature towards the south there expected to be about 26, 27 degrees, but even towards the far southeast, we're back down to around about the low 20s. And how far is this going to let us take it? Through into Thursday, widely upper teens through northwestern areas, so it's still looking fresher towards northwest parts, most of Wales. Through central eastern areas, again, temperatures could be rising back up to the mid-20s once again. So let's take, turn F in blue. So let's have a look, see if it's got any thunderstorm potential or any showers break out in the next 48 to 72 hours. Where are we? That precipitation rate. So there's the rest of that rain clearing towards the far north of Scotland. And through tomorrow, let's see if there's any potential there for any showers or thunderstorms to break out. With this is the high resolution UK V model. So UK V model. Potentially, there could be some isolated showers could break out towards the Midlands. I mean, very isolated. Perhaps some there, perhaps for Lincolnshire to Yorkshire, possible. So there's definitely nothing widespread. It's like a few cells could break out towards the North Sea, but unless you're on a boat somewhere between Scotland and... Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello, Liz.
Sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
That's all right. I heard a pop. I thought, how's that happened? I've not sent a link to anybody.
Ah.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Hi, Suit. Hi, Paul.
You enjoying the heat?
No, I'm melting. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Hi, Anne. Hi, Suit.
That's all right. That's what some confused like because I've sent nobody links. I knew you were both busy tonight. I was like, I had a pop. I thought, huh? Has someone hacked into the system?
Yes, me. Hi, everybody. Hi, Chris. Where did I get to? Hi, Send It. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Laura. Hi, Anne. Sorry, I missed Anne.
It's my volume very low. Yeah, it is. I thought it seemed a bit quiet. I was like, huh?
Hi, audio. Hi, Tom. I'm going to read them all out now.
I'll give them 30 seconds.
There's a lot in here.
Yeah, not bad for a Sunday night, is it? Yeah.
Please excuse me smoking. I've just taught a lesson, so yeah, I've literally just finished. So while I've sat at the computer, I thought, oh.
No worries. Liz, what are the chance of storms coming? I'm just going through that now with the UKV.
Yeah, carry on. I have no idea because I haven't looked at anything. There's a possible chance that I thought, I haven't looked past. There was a small chance the last I looked on Tuesday, but I don't know whether that's moved.
Just in that comment then from PJ. Oops, I thought Tom put high. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, thanks for that, Sue.
Yeah. Right, yes. So let's go back and just what this UKV is showing, Liz. Very isolated, maybe pop-ups, but I mean very isolated through the Midlands tomorrow and perhaps through eastern areas. But it's not really, unless they're really elevated, I don't really see anything kicking off at all through the country. Again, there's an isolated cell towards the northwest.
Yeah, I was going to say that one that came off the northeast coast looks like it's going to be beefy, but over the sea.
Yeah. Oh, actually, there could be a line forming there.
That looks like a bit of a boundary.
Yeah, I think to northwest of this, you've got the cooler, fresher air, and towards the southeast, obviously, you've got the hot and humid air. Let's have a look. So there's a potential there for northeastern areas, maybe through Lincolnshire.
Yeah.
Humberside. So let's go into Tuesday. It's not looking good for stormage. Again, could be the odd isolated shower maybe for some areas on Tuesday. Ireland, perhaps.
Ireland.
And her friend Jer Dooley that sometimes watches. There could be a chance for him down in Kilkenny. Actually, a good chance, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe some northern areas here, perhaps through the Cheshire Gap, through Manchester.
Yeah, that's getting into golden hour, 8 o'clock in the evening, yeah.
Maybe something to watch on Tuesday. We'll obviously keep an eye on the charts in the next 24 hours. There could be some isolated pops. Just sort of spot there towards the southeast there.
Bit of a Cape Clipper, maybe.
Glad you said that correctly and not something else.
Enunciate.
There's some more perhaps there for northeastern areas again, Humberside, Lincolnshire way. through Wednesday, but further going away, really, we need to have a look closer to the time on these. Again, the potential there for down towards the southeast. I think before fresh air really kicks in. But saying that, I'm just looking up there that could be potential there for North Scotland there. I think one of our mods are there. So possible there for Thursday, but again, we're looking really too far away. All right, let's have a look at the latest from the GFS 12Z. Let's have a look at 850. So let's take it. Let's have a quick flick through the whole thing, see what it's showing. Then we'll have a look at the temperatures for the next up to next Saturday, this coming Saturday. So 50-degree ice firm, just scooting across the south there through to tomorrow. No, it's not. It's through the southeast, actually, through tomorrow. 20 degrees just off the nearby continent. We've got fresh weather towards the northwest. Eventually through into Wednesday, that clears through. Then the UK Met was showing that on the facts charts, that cold front sitting between Portugal through the Low Countries into Russia. So we got the cooler fresh ahead just here. Is there any hints of any warmer air coming in? It's like low pressure moves in. This has got low pressure moving for next Sunday. So if you like the cooler, fresher air.
It's going to throw it down next Sunday because it's the British Grand Prix.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
It always does. It's going to blow a gale and there's going to be showers all over the place. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Can't beat the British Grand Prix with rain. Any hints of heat? Not on this 12Z run. So it's looking changeable, actually. It's through this
like
12Z
jet streams
run.
Dropped. Jet streams dropped south, hasn't it?
Yeah, actually, good point, actually. Let's have a look at the jet stream. Don't really take a look at that this time of year, do we? We tend to look at it more during the winter time with storms and all that.
Well, that's why we had that strong wind, because the jet stream was south right across us. That was a jet stream led.
So there's a jet stream.
I've gone off you, Rachel. Rachel says Grand Prix is boring. I've gone off you.
Meh. So the jet stream through the country through this week. Got that low dip in there. It's a bit of a trough there through today's 8 and 9. Bit of a ridge there through days 11 and 12. And the jet stream is direct at us for days 13 and 14. Yeah, but seems like the jet stream's picking up a bit there.
Yeah, with the twin lows either side of the slight peak. There, yeah.
It's like a pair of eyes looking at us. There's his eyes, there's his nose.
And he's going,
ooh.
Yes, no spoilers for today's Grand Prix, just in case people haven't watched the highlights yet, or they've recorded it. But it was a good one.
Yeah. Was it Lance Stroll that won today?
Sorry?
Was it Lance Stroll that won?
Yeah. Yeah.
What we're looking at temperatures next. Let's have a look between now and Friday. So let's go through overnight. So remember temperatures tonight. Let's have a look at that with the 12Z GFS. So temperatures widely into mid to high teens. Some spots again could stay above 20 degrees all night.
Yeah, I was on the south coast last night and it was 19 degrees as I was driving home 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Must have that's clammy, shall we say?
Fortunately, I was in an old fort, so it was all stone, so it was quite nice. Yes.
Ah, so temperatures tomorrow, we're looking widely into the high 20s away from far northwest of the UK. Looking high 20s through into the Midlands, parts of Eastern England. We're looking around about 32, 33, 34. Again, as I said earlier on, can always add a degree or two on top of these. Potentially, we could beat the June record of 35.6, which was back in 1976.
Yes.
So let's see what happens with that. So even by midnight, that can't be right, surely. Even by midnight, temperatures here are still showing about the 30-degree mark, but I think that's a bit overdone there. Unless that's got... yes, I see what's happened there. The slide's still the same between the two.
Yeah, it's not
So
updated yet, is it?
So minimum temperature for Tuesday morning, where you got the fresh air moving in, which we're looking temperatures low double digits. For parts of central, down towards southeast, temperatures around about the mid-teens, and some places down the southeast again could see temperatures above 20 degrees, especially around the capital, where 21, 22 is possible minimum wise. So tropical night down towards the southeast. Into Tuesday, still hold on to the heat for some areas. Again, look, this is showing that temperatures about 5 degrees cooler than it was on Monday, but even towards the far southeast, temperatures still could get into the low 30s, maybe peaking at 33, 34 possible. So I think Monday is the peak of the temperatures widespread, but there's a possibility it could still reach 33, 34 towards the far southeast of England. So looking at the near continent there, where temperatures are in the high 30s, maybe up to 40, 41, 42 is possible. Rather than us right now. Into Wednesday, temperature-wise, that's looking a lot fresher. With the temperatures that cool there could be looks like a weather front sat across northern central areas, holding the temperatures into the mid-teens. The heat still continues down towards the southeast. Not as hot, though. Temperatures perhaps getting up into the mid-20s, 24, 25, 26 is possible. And eventually, that fresh air will move across the whole country. I say fresh air, temperature building slightly, but fresher than what we've had recently. Getting into low to mid-20s. And again, into Friday, temperatures warmer down towards the southeast, low to mid-20s. Further north towards Scotland, Ireland, Northern England, looking quite very fresh, actually, just about getting to double figures there.
I think there's a low pressure system over there, isn't there, at that point? Thinking back to the chart, there's a low pressure on the...
And there's your rain there. While we're on that, let's have a... Actually, let's have got the cable lifted first. So the cable lifted for this week. Where's it gone? Has it gone back down to the screen again? There we go. So we've had a tiny bit of cable lifted today, but obviously we need that trigger, and we don't have that trigger in place right now. Even across Ireland, there isn't that trigger there to give any thunderstorms.
You need the temperature gradient.
Yeah.
Which is
and
it's there.
It's there. But the thing is, we don't really have much of that trigger, do we?
Well, it's that's where, like we said, across the Republic of Ireland, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's where that's going to get triggered. That's where we saw the potential for thunderstorms Tuesday into Wednesday.
This just shows you we could have all the cable lift we want, but we haven't got that trigger. Then it's just no good to us.
Well, you can see that you can actually see the boundary on that. The white line is the boundary, yeah. That's the fresher air coming down.
Then that's over central areas through into Tuesday. So even into Tuesday, outside risk. If we have a look at let's look at the precipitation. So there could be a few cells there, maybe from Wales, but that's something we need to keep an eye on. The next 24 to 48 hours. I will just go as far as Friday with this. There's a possibility, there's a bit of cape there towards the west. Yeah, precipitation. So could be a few heavy showers, maybe thunderstorms there for Wednesday.
Yeah, that was the ones across Lincolnshire, wasn't it?
Yes. Thursday, nothing to write home about. Let's have a look at the precipitation on that. Again, outside risk there for Northern Ireland there. And finally, Friday. It's so warm and humid in this kitchen. Sorry, studio. So yeah, not too. I can't really say we're going to get many storms. So there could be some isolated pop-ups, but nothing really showing with this this GFS run. Snow risk, we can all wish for. Let's have a look at it. Let's go straight onto the ECMWF. So is this the 12Z? It is. This is the 12Z of the ECMWF. High pressure building towards southern areas. Oh, for goodness sake. I've clicked onto the banner, haven't I? Just give me a second. I need to have a quick drink because I'm getting that dry. Sorry about that. So into tomorrow, high pressure moves towards our east. We're dragging up that slack southerly airflow. Hence why our temperatures are getting into the low 30s. Again, high pressure sat towards our east, and we've got could tell if that's maybe like a little low pressure, maybe because it's that weather front. But we've got fresh air moving towards northeast. We've got high pressure build up. These also high build up from the southwest. That's keeping things more settled down towards the south, more changeable towards the northwest of the UK. And low pressure deepens up towards Iceland, so it's going to be quite breezy there towards especially northern areas, less towards the south on Friday. Then through into Saturday, as Liz already mentioned, it's Grand Prix weekend, and we've got low pressure moving down from the northwest. And next Sunday, we're in a northwesterly, hopefully change, for the Grand Prix. Monday the 7th and Tuesday the 8th, we've got another area of low pressure moving across the country.
Second week of Wimbledon, it's going to throw it down.
Yep. And we've got a little area of low pressure set towards the North Sea, so it's introducing northwesterly winds and temperatures will probably like maybe the upper teens at best.
Be interesting to see what happens after that, because that pocket sat above us, if we get another tongue of hot, humid air coming and banging into that little pocket, we might get some bangs. So it'd be worth keeping an eye on that in the coming week as we get closer to it.
All right, sticking with the ECMWF, let's have a look at the weekly mean anomalies. So this is for this coming week, 30th of June to the 7th of July, has the Azores high extending over the UK. In that flow, actually this flow has actually got us in a northeasterly flow actually. But again, we've seen the transition there. We've just got that high pressure moving towards the east. We've got that low pressure towards the north, then perhaps towards the back end of the week. Actually, no. What am I saying? Low pressure was set across the UK, so it's a bit of a conflict there, actually. But the other, when I said that was the ECM do a showing low pressure. That's a bit of a strange one.
That's the fresher air coming down.
That makes more sense there. For the 7th of July to the 14th, we've got lower pressure across virtually most of Europe, actually. You're looking at that. So that will bring a more of a northwesterly flow. Does that make more sense? Which is that low set towards the North Sea there for next weekend. The 14th of July towards the 21st of July, lower pressure towards the south, higher pressure sat across our area. That will bring in an easterly flow. The 21st to 28th has higher pressure towards the west, so that will be again being a bit of a northwesterly flow. That's a bit of a cool direction there, unless that's extended right across this area. They'll be bringing in more of an easterly. The 28th to the 4th of July, there's no real clear signal, as well as the 4th to the 11th.
That's a long way out.
Exactly. Precipitation-wise, for these same models,
dry.
For western areas, yep, looking drier than average. Far northwest of Scotland, looking slightly wetter than average. 7th to the 14th, we're looking around about average across the board. 14th to 21st, again, we're looking around about average.
Excuse me.
Again, average for the 21st to the 28th. Looking slightly dry there for the 28th to the 4th. Obviously, we're getting into the fancy land of modelling there. And the 2 meter temperatures were the same charts.
Hot.
Let's bring the key on this, so we've got more idea. So we're looking around about 1 to 3 degrees above average there for the 30th to 7th of July. Well, again, above average, about 1 degree above average for the UK, and back to 1 to 3 degrees above average there for the 14th to 21st, and for the 21st, 28th, and going beyond, to be honest. Right, just come off that for a second. How's the chat doing at the moment?
I've got to put suits.
You know what? If there's no thunderstorms here for the rest of summer, I will go and speak to the weather gods and bring my thunderstorm to my country. Sugar. Just split the laptop there from the bottom.
And then
I'll be putting my complaint into a letter. I've just seen that. I'm possibly good for Derbyshire as well, yeah. And for Staffordshire as well.
Yeah, like everywhere.
Yellow letter. Rachel likes the yellow background behind me today. Wish it was cold and average for a change, says James.
Yes.
Right. Is there anything else you want to mention about? I know you feel about the UK weather for go across state-wise?
No, it's all a bit meh at the moment. There's nothing major going on. Nothing like last weekend.
No.
Unfortunately, that was special, and the weekend before, actually, down in Kent.
Could that be the storm of the season? We'll soon see. There's still plenty to play for. Normally, September could be quite good for storms. Normally, where you getting the transitional to getting rid of the last bit. Well, get some starts to get rid of the heat. I can't speak honestly. It's the warmth in here. Sometimes I'm not reflecting the light off my head at the minute. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here. get to go to stateside and have a look at the latest in the hurricane season, actually.
Oh, I thought you were going to go on to my favourite topic.
That's going to be next. We'll
Okay.
save the best till last. So
I'm
let's go to...
going to find that video. I'll pull that video up.
Yes.
You're doing the hurricanes.
Yep, so let's get to the Eastern Pacific. I just put us across the bottom there. There we go. So at the moment, we've got a disturbance, 20% chance of cyclone formation in the next 7 days. So there's an area of low pressure could form several hundred miles offshore southwestern Mexico late this week. Some gradual development of this system is possible thereafter while it moves generally west-northwestwards. Next 48 hours is 0%, and next 20 days, 7 days is 20% chance of forming. So it could form maybe next weekend, we shall see. But next to that, we've got Tropical Storm Flossie. And would you believe we're end of June and we're already on the letter F already?
Yes. They did say it was going to be an active hurricane season, didn't they?
Yeah. So the key message from Tropical Storm Flossie is the outer bounds of Tropical Storm Flossie may bring locally heavy rainfall for the Mexican states of... Oh, thank you for... This is going to be...
Oaxaca,
Guerrero, Michoacan? Do you pronounce that? Because I have no clue.
Michoacan.
And calling me a guitar, I don't really know much about Mexico.
Colima and Jalisco.
Through early next week, flooding and mudslides are possible, particularly in areas of steep terrain. And a tropical storm watch is in effect for southwestern Mexico, and a tropical storm warnings could be required later today or tonight for a portion of the coast of southern Mexico. So let's have a closer look at the warning cone. So it's going to be getting very close to the Mexican, so it's a Mexican border. Coastline, that's what I was looking for. So in the next few days, it's expected to turn to hurricane force. It's not expected to be major, otherwise there'll be an NM there. So it looks like it could be a Cat 1, Cat 2 as it heads towards the Baja California Peninsula. Is that right?
I don't know. It's not in Tornado
That's what it's
Alley.
called,
I've got no idea.
I think it's the Baja California Peninsula or something along those lines. I do know it, but my brain's gone. Bye-bye. So currently, Tropical Storm Flossie's maximum sustained wind of 40 miles an hour, moving west-northwestwards at 9 miles an hour. So again, so could be some heavy rainfall across the coastal areas of Mexico. Right, let's head over.
My way around Texas and Oklahoma, but not down there.
Yeah. Let's head towards the Atlantic, where there's a couple of features we're watching at the moment. So we do actually have a tropical storm at the moment.
Barry.
We've got Barry. Tropical storm Barry.
We want to be
the key messages from Matt Barry is Tropical Storm Barry will produce heavy rainfall across portions of northeastern Mexico, and life-threatening flooding and mudslides, especially in the areas of steep terrain, are possible. Tropical storm conditions, especially in gusts, are expected later today and tonight over portions of eastern Mexico in the tropical storm warning area. And as you can see with the warning cone, it's not a big area at all. It only got named last night, so this is like a quick storm, really. Like and was it Andrea?
Yes,
that was, I reckon, like a 24 to 36 hour storm. That's where we'll be already. So current sustained winds are 45 miles an hour, moving at 12 miles an hour towards the northwest. So next 24 hours, that'll be dissipated over Mexico. And one that's just come up today, so I've not looked into this one yet, is disturbance number 1 going through Florida. Towards the end of this week into next weekend, an area of low pressure could develop from a remnant frontal boundary near or along the southeastern US Atlantic or Gulf coast. Some gradual tropical or subtropical developments could occur thereafter as it drifts slowly toward just off the US coastline. So nothing in the next 48 hours, and there's 20% chance in the next 7 days. So it'll be interesting to see how that comes off, because that track has had it towards northeast and how it perhaps interact with our jet stream that down the line. So that's maybe something we need to keep an eye on during this week. And that's that. I'm just refresh this page before we head over statewise. Oh, hasn't not refreshed. The page is stuck. Just bear with me. There we go.
Coffee's written his letter.
Yeah.
And it's a banger, unlike the weather.
Funny old bangs, we're going to see this summer as bloody off of doing a barbecue. Right. Well, there's my tab for this. So, do you want me to go through this, or do you want me to let you read through this?
Yep. Carry on.
So this is for today. We've got a couple of areas of slight risks, which is affecting around about just over 8.6 million people. The large population areas cover Kansas City, Aurora, Madison, Evelyn Park, and Kansas City. And the marginal risk covers an area of 31.3 million people. So the summary is there is a slight risk of severe thunderstorms over portions of Central Plains and portions of Iowa and Wisconsin. In summary, isolated to scattered strong to severe thunderstorms are possible from the upper Great Lakes into the Central High Plains. Wind is the primary risk, though hail is expected across portions of the High Plains. I know Ryan Yule is not live tonight. I know he's got family commitments.
I don't think it's not worth going live for. I think it's just going to be a linear windbag.
Sounds like me.
I think there's very little tornado chance with that.
Yeah, just like summer thunderstorms.
There are a few chasers live. I think I noticed Brandon was live. Brandon Kopic.
Yeah. Yeah, it says there tornado is less than 2% in all areas. Let's have a look at tomorrow's risk. Seems to be very slow loading up tonight. And I mean very slow. So yeah, nothing too much there. There's a large marginal risk.
Yeah.
And
tell a lie. There aren't chasers live.
There isn't.
I think they're all having a break. Because they all ended up in North Dakota and Minneapolis. So they'll all be repositioning. Yeah.
Tomorrow, there's just a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms for parts of the Midwest into the Ohio Valley and the Mid-Atlantic and along the California and Oregon border. So, yeah, again, nothing to watch, really, unless you like normal thunderstorms, which we could do with ourselves, to be honest. We'll take anything right now. Day 3 looks a little bit better, actually. Day 3 forecast. There's a slight risk of severe thunderstorms for portions of the Mid-Atlantic. And with this summary, scattered strong to severe thunderstorms are possible across parts of the Mid-Atlantic into the northeast on Tuesday afternoon and evening. An isolated severe storm may occur for parts of Central High Plains. So in this Day 3 forecast, there's 20 million people in the slight the likes of Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, Arlington, and Alexandria at risk. And in the marginal, there is over 56 million people, the likes of New York, Charlotte, Boston, Virginia Beach, and Raleigh. The day 4 to day 8 outlook is looking like that. Too low for day 4, too low for day 5, too low for day 6, and too low for day 7, and too low for day 8. Obviously, that still could change in the next few days. Right, we should be back on screen. No, we're not. Now we are. Just seeing a name now I'm not seeing this evening so far. Good evening to Kelly. Hope you're well. Two's at a barbecue. So you've probably seen a few bangers yourself, like we have. I have to agree what James said last weekend was truly epic. It was.
Yes. It was, yes.
You could tell by the smile on Liz's face how much she enjoyed that.
Yes. I spent about 3 hours underneath a thunderstorm or chasing.
There's especially the last few hours on the live was incredible.
Well, the storm I caught not far from Barnard Castle was pretty good as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it was like from about 5 o'clock onwards, it really started to pick up. You chased that cell, then that went past you, then you went back towards Gordon for that epic, incredible storm where you were literally inside the supercell thunderstorm.
Yes. Intercepted.
Again, if you're not seeing it, if you go on to our live from last Saturday,
21st, and early hours 22nd,
to see the team get inside that supercell thunderstorm, maybe look just after the 8-hour mark. I think it was the last hour and a half of the live stream. I think from about the 8th hour, I think Liz was actually going on, making her way to Gordon, who was in location at the time. Again, it's just incredible. Even watching it back at the studio was just incredible watching. Because I said to you many times, I'm going to bed in a minute. And it was that great. I never.
Yeah, 2 hours later.
Yeah, I was going to bed. I was about 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm going up. I think the stream ended about 11:45. And that's when I went to bed afterwards. Yes. That's how great it was.
Yes.
I've got to say, I'll take some beating this year, unless you're going to be literally next to a tornado.
Daylight tornado would top it, but I don't think that's very likely. I think that's the only thing that would top it would be a daylight tornado.
But just to have you and Gordon experience that. Well, Gordon wasn't on his own; he had his family as well.
Yes. The next generation of storm chasing. Because his son got some really good footage as well. He got his iPad with him and was filming the lightning strikes. Yes.
And there she, is that the what's her name now? Seriously, my name, everything's coming up my head because of this bloody heat.
It's Tasha.
Tasha, that's it. Always comes in during live, bless her. Oh.
Stormcat. It's too hot. It's like, yeah, she doesn't want cuddles because it's too hot.
Yeah. I think I was actually still on the garden path, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and yesterday, if you want to watch some epic tornadoes that are beautiful, picturesque tornadoes, check out the footage from the chasers last night in Minneapolis and North Dakota. There are some stunning low precipitation tornadoes.
Oh,
beautiful pipes, absolutely gorgeous pipes.
Almost like clean cut. When the low precipitation, it's almost like clean cut. You can see it beautifully. Instead of the rain wrapped ones where you can't see nothing. You've been stared at.
You can
Oh,
properly see the anatomy of the supercell
yeah.
with the low preset, the LP storms, and the tornadoes are stunning. Yeah, check them out. I mean, there's quite a few that Connor Croft, Brandon Ivy, Reed Timmer, Storm Runner Media, all the usuals. They were all on absolutely stunning LP supercells that put down some beautiful pipes.
Have you got which? Oh, hang on, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry, guys. Literally, I'm like,
I've got a quick.
Yeah.
I've got Connor's up from. I think he was in Minneapolis. Not 100%. Screen. That one. So this is just from Tornado Genesis. You can see the funnel spinning up. You can see the supercell. You can see the cut, the RFD cut. If I just scroll through a little bit. Oh, typical ads. And I'm going to go full screen on this.
Yeah. I was about to say once upon full screen. Oh.
And of course, because he's right next to a supercell, the signal goes, but look at that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, it's South Dakota. He's in South Dakota. Yeah. I think he got 2.
From the same supercell or 2 different storms?
I think it was 2 different storms. There it is, roping out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Sidewinder, roping out. If I just scroll through, and it's the same supercell. You see it, ground scraper. Look at that wall cloud. I mean, if you want to look at a textbook storm, watch some of the footage from last night. Like I say, it was just stunningly beautiful.
Well, you just go on that ground scraper. If it would be more daylight last Saturday, that's what you probably would have seen coming towards you.
Yes. Let me just see if I can find the. There we go. I mean, look at that for positioning. That's like just spot on positioning there from Connor.
Almost underneath it as well.
He's bang in the right place. You see the vortices.
Oh yeah.
Touching down just as it crosses the road in front of him. He's not too far. He's not too close. You see the chaser traffic. That's the dangerous bit about chasing, is the chaser traffic. Let's just scroll that on just a little bit. I think this is the one that's absolutely stunning. I mean, look at that. This fully condenses, and you can see it's really high contrast. So you've got a beautiful white stovepipe just touching down the. There we go.
Oh,
look at
wow.
That. Now that's a tornado. That's like a photographer's absolute dream. Yeah. In the middle of nowhere, that's a tornado you can chase and be excited about without being guilty about people having their property destroyed and stuff.
I'm just seeing the comments coming up here.
There you go, fully condensed. I won't put the sound on because I know Connor will be absolutely bouncing. No, he doesn't F and blind, but he will be. He's not quite as screamy as Reed is, but he will be very excited at this point. I mean, look at that.
Looking at that, looks like it's been it's been speeded up, but it hasn't, has it?
No.
Oh, that. I can just stare at that and just not say a word. Just look at the pure beauty of that.
Yeah, That's the kind of thing you want as a screensaver.
Hmm.
But that's very similar to what Gordon and I would have seen if it had been daylight, because ours was pretty low precip. Would have been a bit lower down. The wall cloud was a bit. It was a shorter tornado. It was more of an elephant trunk than a stovepipe. But
Yeah, it's just shame it was like an hour earlier, then you would have seen it clearly.
yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? I mean, look at that. You can see the actual vortices inside the actual pipe
Yes, you
there.
can.
Look.
Yeah, that is
Anatomy
absolute.
of a tornado.
That is absolutely incredible. See what I mean about the clear air.
Yeah. Chasing later or further north tends to give you.
Look at that roping out then.
It's not roping out. It's condensing differently.
Ah,
That's a proper stovepipe. Bit CG. But yeah,
oh
later on in
wow.
the season and further north, you get like Colorado, the Dakotas. You tend to get LP supercells. Um, it's
It's like a wiggly
Texas and
worm looking at
Oklahoma.
that.
Yes, yeah,
And seeing those lightning strikes behind it as well.
I know Brandon Ivy's got a really good video out of. I can't remember whether it's the same supercell, but there was a few. There was obviously a band, a line, a boundary going through that had some awesome LP supercells. I mean, you can see the radar on the bottom right. It's not even heavily hail cored.
Yeah,
I mean, look at that.
I know. That's why I'm like quiet. I was like, oh,
Yes.
sheer, sheer beauty.
And you're talking 180 mile an hour winds in that, maybe. I mean, this is a big supercell. This is long track. This is for this late in the season. This is a long track tornado. But you can see his positioning on the supercell and where the hook is. It's on the southwest side is where the hook is, and you want to come in from the southeast, as Dan Holly said on the deep dive.
Yeah,
Obviously, in this country, because the supercells are so much quicker, these you can see them developing. You can see them.
hello, love.
You can see them developing. You can see them. Wrong one. You can
That's
see
it.
them as they develop, so you can get yourself in the ideal position. Whereas in this country, it's just not possible. And then you've got the road network and trees, and yeah, I was chatting to Dan and talking about carrying a chainsaw. He doesn't chase in this country because he doesn't like the terrain. I'm like,
It's all right through Lincolnshire. It's all flat.
Even then, you get hedges. You get
Mm.
the yeah, and then it's too flat, so you can't see the horizon. But and then there's buildings and barns, and yeah, it's just America is a different world. Chasing in America is just I'd recommend it to anybody. Yeah, James, we don't want it over here because there's too many houses. I mean, I would say probably if that went through a built up area, it'd be an EF3, EF4. But obviously because they're rated on damage and that just went through a field, it won't be rated as highly. The
I'll
wind
say that
speeds will be up there.
if we're somebody turns a city, it'll probably improve it.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Classic. Yes, it is the best feeling in the world. I can totally recommend it. If you ever get the chance, it's a holiday of a lifetime. And I totally recommend going with Brandon Ivy, because he teaches you how to read the charts, why he's chasing where he's chasing, looking at the radar. He tells you why he's chasing where he wants to go, somewhere remote. Yeah, like we did last Saturday up on the hills. Nice water spout, yes. Yeah, Seven Estuaries is apparently quite good for water spouts, but I've never seen one. But yes, so I thought I'd just share that bit of weather porn.
That's all right. That was just, like I said, it was just incredible to see it.
Yeah, Connor is one of my favourite chasers that does live streams. I have to say, him and Storm Runner Media, they're really, really good chasers. They, more often than not, Brandon Kopic is pretty good as well. But I like Connor and Storm Runner Media. That's my top tip for watching chasing.
Right. Shall we end it there?
Do it, James. Do it.
So yeah.
Cool.
UK wise, stormage, heat, looking nothing's just like sticking out.
I'm moving to the freezer for the next week and a half.
Yeah. I'll probably end up being in the freezer tomorrow. So yeah, thank you all for joining us this evening for Weather Fans Live here on Sunday. If there's any tickle provide potential thunderstorms, just look out for our updates on our Facebook. If something major big does kick off, then we'll probably end up doing a live on here. But as it stands at the minute, it's just looking as exciting looking at a rotten tomato, really.
Oh, that's more exciting.
Yeah.
That at least does something.
Yeah. Right, we'll see you all next Sunday, 8 p.m. And yeah, let's end it there.
Thanks to our mods.
Oh, yes, thank you, mods, Paul, James, and James. And we shall see you. You can tell I'm looking for the video here. We'll see you next Sunday at 8 p.m. From myself and Liz. We'll see you next Sunday. Bye-bye, everybody.